Hello and welcome to Library Salad. Today's episode is Gift Wrapping Hacks, brought to you by the Monroeville Public Library in Pennsylvania. And hi, I'm Alice. Holidays are fast approaching and we're just going to go over a couple ways of making things easier for you when you go to wrap that gift. You might be saying, what does the flamingo have to do with the holidays? I'll show you. It coordinates with the sweater that also has a flamingo on it. Thank you for asking. Now,
Didn't ask.
you should have. Anyway, sometimes it's not easy to wrap certain gifts, just the shape of them. If you've noticed the last couple of years, the stores are not carrying those free gift boxes anymore. So it's now on you to do that. Let's say, for example, you were giving this lovely pillow to someone. You're not going to have a box. At least it's easy because it's got some give to it. But one of the things that I like to do is simply find something that would be easy to just put around and close up like that. Now, this is just a dollar store simple table cover. Now, I only had the yellow here, but if you get the red one or the green one, the darker colors, it'll be less likely to show through and a little more festive. But by simply putting it on there and basically calling it centering for the sake of argument and just gather it around. So a little bit of gathering, a little more gathering, and then simply tying it up with a bow. There you go. See, look. Anyway, what's the good thing about this is you can do this year round because at the dollar store, they've got a lot of their plastic tablecloths with all sorts of different, let's say patterns. Recently for my grandson, his theme was Lego. They had a Lego tablecloth. So it was easy just to, the gift that we gave him, wrap it up with that. So that is one thing to do. Next up, same pillow, but let's say you've got a friend or relative, maybe they've just moved into a new apartment. They may need a lot of things, so you may just bump it up a little bit with adding a couple things to it. Dollar store plate, simply act as a base, but if you've got a nice, this is about a 60-inch round. You also have a 52 by 52 square tablecloth that's a little bit higher end, shall we say? And also $2. And also, I folded this up so it just would unroll nicely. And well, there goes that idea. Anywho, but so by giving the gift like this, there's our center. See the folds? There's our center. And putting it on there, they can use this over and over again. If you got a simple red or green one, that would be something that they could use throughout the year by simply putting over any table, any folding table, and that makes it a lot more fun to give a couple of gifts at the same time. So by simply, once again, we're gathering, throw in a bow like this, wrap that up, you get the gist. Thank you. So anyway, so there you go. It's 3 gifts in one. We'll just put this over here for the second. Keep the hat from not falling all over the place. And tape is very important. If you've got the double-sided tape, that's going to be a little bit better, but you can certainly use your regular tape. We'll just put this over there because we're going to need it throughout this. Teenagers.
Yeah.
Difficult to buy for, and wrapping is not always that easy. But most of the time, what do they want? They want money. That's great, but to just put it in a card, they open it all of 2 seconds, and that's not as much fun. But get yourself a nice little box. This is a cute one. It's festive. It's even got things with trees and stuff. But what you can simply do is, depending on whatever amount that you're giving, if you simply take even just a couple of singles, unless you're getting $20, you got 20 of these, all you're gonna do, keep them uniform or not, just by rolling these up, doesn't take that much, you can simply do this again. What I always say, while you're watching TV, not a big deal. Video, I had another piece of string, but you get the idea. And just make a little bow. So this way, you put a whole bunch of these in the box, and it's gonna take time then to wrap. Maybe throw a slightly higher denomination in there as a surprise. Let them figure out that that's the only higher denomination that's in there. But I think that's a lot more fun than simply putting in a dollar bill or whatever into a simple box. Just remember, we got this. All right, now you can also
Get another tablecloth.
get another tablecloth. That's right. Think about gift wrap. You may say to yourself, I'm not using this as anything else, but you may say to yourself, oh yes, I've got plenty of gift wrap from last year. I know that it's there, I've seen it there, and you go to take it out and this is what you're left with. That is not going to be necessarily helpful if you're wrapping a lot of gifts. But let's see, like in particular, you had a box and you say, oh, well, this is plenty, this is plenty. And you put it down, and wait a second, maybe this way. No. How can we make this work without including aluminum foil? We can do it by, if we do it diagonal, so it's now, go this way, taking the side that's closer to you, bringing it over, then this one, and you can simply, what always makes it easier is by just taking some Scotch tape and just getting it down there so you can start working on the sides. And then for the sides, if you bring this down a little bit and this side a little bit, you're then going to have this to be able to, not that much, you just bring it over a little bit so that this comes up, this comes up, fold that over. This is going to fold over. You get the gist. Okay, and throw some tape on here. Again with the side, just down a little bit. That's coming up. That's folding in. This is coming up. You can just fold that, get those a little more centered. Give it a little something over there. Go like that. It's all covered. This is turning over. You'll never know, but you can, if you have more time, you can make that a little neater. But this way, you don't have to go and take out another wrap, rolling, or get some new. You have fit that box into a place where people said it was not possible.
It's amazing.
I know, I was amazed myself. So, what else can you do with, if you have an odd object and you don't know really what to do, how to wrap things? You can make, I know this is going to shock you, you can make your own bag. Now, the object with this is you're not going to be putting in 20 pounds of coal. I will admit this isn't going to be as strong as the ones that you may purchase, but I think in a pinch this is going to work. So you're simply folding it over like that. Take out your handy dandy Scotch tape. You're looking at me very surprised.
That's how I always look at you.
That's true. And you know, I want to know. Okay, so you're coming up about a quarter of the way like that. And this is, it's relatively simple. If you've done origami, it's even more simple. But what you're doing is holding the top, bringing down the bottom so that it simply comes into triangles like that. This isn't meant to meet, it's not going to. And then fold that up to the half. That's like that. some more tape, a little more tape because it's sort of caught on the other side. Okay, let's give it a little more tape because we are meant to hold things. And then,
You know what they say, you can never have too much tape.
they say a lot of things. And then look at this, it's voila, a bag. So let's say this was the item that you wanted to put in there. There you go. Now on the top you can do a couple of things. You could take a hole punch and then loop some ribbon, make a little handle. Or if you want to go really quick and easy and just fold down, and what have we got back? We've got the chip clip. Ta-da. That's also another thing. If someone just got an apartment or something like that, this gives them a second gift like that, and you've made your own bag. Here's another wrapping. And we're here. Okay. Let's say I forgot the rosemary, but I'll just describe it to you. This is rosemary as in the spice, not a person. So let's say you just wanted to give a little extra with really very little time. Let's say you just want to wrap something. I just got this out of the closet. I'm not giving away TurboTaxes, although I think this probably would be a very good gift because, nothing says the holidays like doing your taxes.
Prior years, but okay, whatever.
I got out of the closet. It's like a day, people. All right, so you've got your size. You've measured it down. And you know what? If you can see these lines over here, there's a reason why they have these lines on some wrapping paper. That's where you're going to cut it. That's where you're going to fold. It's there to be helpful for you. So you're just going to, on this, maybe 2 squares up, or just the equivalent of maybe 2 inches, you're going to fold it. You've got it on the back side, fold it, and then, let's see which way we were doing this. Okay, so if you just go, let's say we're just wrapping it like this, and you're just giving the sides a little wrap like that. Hopefully I put it in the right spot. I think I put it a little too far over. Once again, the object of this is, I'm just going to get the gist of it. You play with it as you will. So, by wrapping this, and we've made that fold, on the other side, it's a pocket. So, you've got your little holiday card in there. How many times did you get to a place and say, where'd the card go? I've lost it. Yes, you have. Somebody out there may have had that problem. We are trying to make sure everybody knows everything. Okay, so look at this. I didn't bring it over a little bit. I should have brought this over a little further, I will admit. But you've got that in there. And if you have maybe even more of a solid color wrapping paper and you need a little extra something, I've seen a number of times sprigs of rosemary used. Very nice. You may remember from last week, the charcuterie, we've used the trees, we made the trees out of the rosemary, and you can just put that in. How nice would that smell? Actually, this weekend I'm going to use it to bake focaccia with. That's a nice type of bread. So there's a lot of uses for rosemary also.
It's like a whole other episode.
It's a whole other episode, people. Now, what other small things can you do on it? Or some things where you say, I've got so many of those and I really can't use them. What am I going to do? And that would be your paper straws. I had gotten these for 2 summers ago. I had made, it was a really nice watermelon cake. It was pink frosting. There was a little
rosemary.
It wasn't rosemary. But the point was that I needed the straws to look like, to be part of it and things like that. So, turns out the family does not like paper straws to drink a full beverage in. Try to use them after that. They don't like the paper straws. Here I am left with all those. But this year we're going to try to do something to get rid of them. Look at this, okay? And look how nice that looks. Okay, this is simply taking some of these, cutting them in half, and then simply hot gluing them. I put a button on there because in here happens to be my little button box, okay? But any button you have, put that on, and it really makes a different little festive piece that you can use, because sometimes you just want to, do a little craft or something like that, or you may not have. Bows can be very expensive. That's why you also want to get those at the end of the year, because that's when you get the 90% off. So that's another helpful hint. So thanks for joining me. Hope that all of your wrapping goes well. And since we're finished, that's a wrap.